Welcome to this video, round 8 of the candidates tournament, and we have a game here to analyze between Topalov and Mamedyarov. Both players lost terribly in round 7, and for both it basically meant the end of any ambition for the first place. I mean, like almost they're on -1, but theoretically speaking there is some hope left, but it's very, very little. Especially Mamedyarov had Kramnik on the ropes and could have been right in the thick of it, but he blundered in this super complicated position and even lost. So let's see what happened in this game. We have an open Sicilian, and I'm wondering, is this the first open Sicilian in this tournament? There have been bishop b5 check things. I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure. We had in the first round Swidler had played the Taimanov, and they actually had an open Sicilian kayak in white. Okay, I remember. Okay, here we get a Najdorf, and what is Topalov's preparation against the Najdorf? Interesting. He very often goes for the sharpest lines with bishop to e3 or bishop g5. But here he's coming up with a different move, with h3. Yeah, this is an old favorite of Bobby Fischer's, and despite its somewhat slow and harmless appearance, this is actually a quite sharp move. The idea is very straightforward, to play g4. Yeah, while in the, let's say in the Scheveningen, there is the Keres attack, where you can play g4 immediately. Here, of course, g4 is just losing a pawn. So white is preparing this advance, and g4 is very often just intending g5, pushing this knight away. And this is also a motivation for this move to prepare. But h3 is a bit different, and we'll see one idea later. Mamedyarov now goes for g6, which is a slightly rare move. Most people here go for e6, and after that we get a position that very often arises from the Keres attack, especially if black goes h6. Okay, but g6 was played. Yeah, g4. As mentioned, this is the idea. White is going for this extended fianchetto, and note he hasn't castled yet. So we look at this. Yeah, Topalov, he's preparing long castling, and why not? I mean, white has a very nice control of the center. The bishop on d2 is, we can put this on the board. The bishop on d2 is supporting control over d5, so black is not going to play d5 anytime soon. And white has ideas to further expand, like f4, g5, or breaking through with f4 and e5 if the concrete circumstances permit such action. Yeah, what is the drawback of white's position? Yeah, one drawback is, compared to the normal dragon, and this is essentially a dragon now, black's formation is a typical dragon formation. Yeah, one drawback is that the square c4 is not controlled. We see that after rook c8, f4, knight a5, black is aiming to go to the square. So this is a big difference to the regular dragon, where white has the bishop on f1 still, or on b3. This is even more often the case. And there a knight on c4 can always just be taken by this piece, which is not possible here. I just wanted to quickly mention that instead of rook c8, black also has the very sharp move b5 available, which was played by Magnus Carlsen, our current world champion. This is actually an interesting move, and a very sharp one. Note that white cannot go e5 here, as this here leads to fantastic compensation with knight c4 and b4 coming a very nice position for black. b4 would have been a very interesting sharp alternative, and an idea is also that black is of course quickly trying to play b5, b4, in the game, Dominguez Carlsen, it went like that, and this is a complete mess. Black seems to be quite okay though. Yeah, Mamedyarov played rook c8. He just went out of this long diagonal, which is not a bad choice. Knight a5. Yeah, and as mentioned, knight c4 is a move that black will definitely play if not hindered. And white absolutely must play b3. This is what Topalov did. You cannot allow the knight there. It's simply the only playable move, b3. Of course, it's a move that you only make with some reluctance because it weakens the c-file. This knight is now not grounded anymore, protected by the pawn. And there are some weaknesses here, the c2, c3. Yeah, I'm not saying white has a problem. It's just like very important for the further course of the game. Yeah, queen c7 played. Okay, the c-file is clear as your source of play. And Topalov retreated the knight. There is no real choice here. I mean, you can try knight d5, but it looks a bit shaky to do that right now. This is a good idea. It also permits this move, and it might threaten e5 and g5. What I'm trying to say is that this type of thing is to be considered. b5 was played. This was a possibility. Topalov played knight d5, but this is something that you must consider. Is this good for white? At first it looks excellent. This knight is attacked, and if it moves, okay, I'm going to take your bishop. But black has a good reply. It's not that move. Still winning a piece. But black actually has this move, which is very strong. It protects the d7 bishop, and after the capture, black can move this piece here and ask white, okay, where are you going with your queen actually? Yeah, at the end, something like that leads to really messy play, but black seems to be okay. g5, e5 and g5 is a bit too much. Topalov played knight d5 as mentioned. Yeah, what else is there? The computer actually recommends king to b1, which I actually do like very much. The thing is, yeah, what is black's move now? It's not so clear what he will play. White's idea is to play knight d5 anyway. Yeah, and this is what Topalov did instantly. And this move is just saying to black, okay, I just make a move and do something. It's not so easy to play a useful move here. You can yeah, you can try rook e8 for example. But then g5 is an idea. The knight here does not have a good square. Something like that you actually cannot play at all. Yeah, we can go for complete embarrassment. Rook e8 is simply not a good move. Yeah, maybe b4 is the move that black should play at the end. And after knight d5, takes, we get a position that is somewhat comparable to the game, but the big difference is that b4 has been played, and this is actually to white's advantage, I believe, and we will see in the course of the game why that is. b4 is this kind of move is just not a very positive one for black. It didn't help. It gives you this additional idea, but the bishop is not doing much on b5. King b1 was maybe an idea for white to improve slightly on the game. Yeah, knight d5, black needs to take. Okay, sorry, what we should look at. What about g5 here? Yeah, this is answered by b4. No? And now this is a bit tricky. If white now moves the knight, you get this problem. So g5 wasn't good. Knight d5 was sensible. I only think that maybe king b1 was a bit harder for black. Yeah, okay. He needs to take on d5, captures, and now he played rook to e8. He's preparing to play e6 here. Black also could have played e6 immediately. This wasn't a bad move at all. Something like that could have easily happened. And it is comparable to the game, but still interesting. Black has got some active pieces, but white also has some good centralization, especially the square on d4 can be nice for all pieces. e6 was possible, but he played rook e8. One idea is that after e6 later he wants to take on e6 with the rook, and yeah, it's a sensible way to play. Topalov now played rook f1, which is slightly mysterious to me. Not 100% sure what the point of the move is. f5 is I don't really think that f5 is an idea. One idea could be maybe just to play as he did in the game with rook f2. That's possible. I still would have thought that a move like king b1 is much more natural, but okay, let's look at the game. Rook f1 and e6 played. Yeah, trying to use the rook on the e file. Very sensible. Yeah, now Topalov played rook f2. Looking to protect c2 and the second rank. Yeah, and in this position now, Mamedyarov uncorked a really funny move. Yeah, if you look at Black's position, yeah, what is Black's possible problem piece? Yeah, you're right. Probably the knight on a5. The knight on a5. Where is it going? It can go to not here, not to c6. It can go to b7, where it is doing nothing. And what is it doing on a5? Yeah, in an ideal world you would sacrifice here at some point, but it's not so easy and apparent how to make that work. Yeah, Mamedyarov solved the problem of the knight simply by sacrificing it. Played knight c4 here. Very very funny move. And yeah, okay, the easiest thing for white is the next move. You absolutely must take it, of course. If you try to not take it, you will get here and
checkmate.
Yeah, then after that you can enjoy some of the Siberian scenery, but have lost very quickly. Yeah, white must take this knight. Oops. Here he must take the knight, of course. And Mamedyarov just recaptured with the pawn. So he has sacrificed the whole piece. And yeah, what is the compensation? Yeah, black has a very substantial threat, of course, and this basically is the compensation. This one enormous threat, and this is of course c3, cutting, yeah, somewhat placing this pawn on c3, and then you just need to get the queen to b2 and it's checkmate. And this is really a big threat. White only has very little playable moves here to defend. If you go c3, just stopping this in its tracks, you'll quickly regret that, as after rook b8, black is threatening queen a5 and queen a3. And it turns out that despite white being, yeah, it's white's moves, it is white's move, and still he has no way to prevent that. Black is flat out winning here. Those pieces are so clumsily placed, you have no way to save yourself. Let's say something like that. There's also this move coming. Yeah, and this will be a devastating attack. Terrible king on d2. c3 is immediately losing. What should white do, actually? First I thought maybe this could be an idea, trying to protect those key squares. But look at this, rook b8, and where is your queen going now? Yeah, if you go here, I can just win the queen.
Check.
This position is actually not 100% clear, as white has got quite a number of pieces. But it's certainly nothing that white should aim for. I mean, he's the only player who can win this is black, and you don't really want to test all this. It turns out that the best move is what Topalov actually played. He played bishop d4. Very wise decision also to get rid of this bishops. Or at least intending to do that. I mean, black is of course doing something else. Yeah, black. What should black do now? He really needs to play c3 now. The only logical follow-up to all that, and this in fact leads to exchanges, lots of exchanges. White needs to take c3, of course. If you move the queen, there's again queen a5, queen a3, and you're toast. So you must take it, and he decided to take with the queen. Bishop takes was possible, I think, but this allows the additional idea of playing queen c5. Yeah, with f2 surprisingly also hanging. And I'm not sure that you really want to try this as white. What he did is just the safer choice. He took with the queen, and after queen takes, knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, we have exchanged the whole c-file and got to an endgame. Let's check, were there any alternatives? Black took. Yeah, can you do something else? White can take here, but if you consider this position, it's quite comparable to the game, only with the rook on d4. Yeah, so I think this was simply best play in for both sides. Yeah, white now took on e6 to get to the d6 pawn. This makes lots of sense. Rook takes, and now rook fd2 played. Yeah, maybe here white had a slight chance to slightly press in this game and continue by playing something like king b2, first attacking the rook. The idea is that after rook g3 you might have bishop to d5 and claim that this bishop is doing something good for you. This is certainly true. White has this active bishop, but if it's really enough to do anything substantial, I doubt that. But this is maybe what white could have done to continue. He played rook to d2, and this now after rook g3 leads to further exchanges. This is an important desperado move, of course, to get your pawn back. Yeah, they actually got into the rook endgame, and well, pawn count, it's equal, 4 against 4, and black will quickly get in a move like f6, which was played when his king will get activated. Yeah, after this and rook f5, they agreed to a draw. Yeah, there are various ways now to continue. Most of them lead to a complete exchange here. And of course, this is a dead position. Even if you would take away a pawn from one side here, it would be very much an uneventful draw. So yeah, not a very exciting game at the end, but a very correct game by both players. I believe if you, like I did, use an engine to do checks, it's really like they didn't do anything wrong. Both sides just played good moves, and it ended in a draw. Nothing to be to be disappointed about. Like a 30-something move draw in an endgame, it's not too exciting, but it was really a good game. What can you do? Yeah, maybe this dragon setup against h3 isn't too bad if we consider that I mean, white's moves really makes lots of sense. Maybe here this king b1 is a slight improvement, but in general black's position looks perfectly okay. Yeah, for both players the draw didn't really do anything, certainly. If they hoped for any chance, a win in this game would be necessary, or would have been necessary. But yeah, it sometimes does not materialize. If both players play well and don't commit any substantial mistake, a draw is a fair result. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this game. Thanks for watching.